Congressman Andy Barr, Republican from Kentucky, joins me now. So, Congressman, when will America's funding for Israel get passed? It's getting hung up on a lot of issues, right?
David, it needs to pass the Senate right away. The House Republicans, along with 12 Democrats, have done the job that the United States needs to do to provide assistance to our ally in Israel, $14.3 billion in additional assistance. But we paid for it in the House. We paid for it with offsets from reductions, rescissions in spending on the IRS. And unfortunately, on a party line vote, Chuck Schumer's Democrat-controlled Senate rejected assistance to Israel. And we want to see the Senate do their job and support our allies in Israel.
Yeah, they need the money now. There is also a question specifically to the battles going on there, whether Israel can maintain the momentum it has against Hamas despite the pause. What do you think?
Well, absolutely. And it's important to understand what the terms of this deal actually are. This is not a permanent ceasefire. In fact, the reason why the terms of the deal are favorable overall to Israel and where we think 50 of the most prized hostages will be released is precisely because Israel has rejected calls for a ceasefire. And the terms of this deal do not require the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, to retreat out of Gaza, but to maintain and hold ground in northern Gaza that they have already taken. And offensive operations will resume after 4 days after these hostages are released. And that's important because the United States needs to support Israel to root out all of these terrorists that were responsible for these atrocities on October 7th. And support the release of all of these hostages.
Congressman, I want to switch to another area. China's share of the global economy is tumbling. Over the past couple of years, it's had its largest decline in GDP since Mao Zedong was in power. You are on the China Select Committee. Does this big shift in the world order make China safer or maybe even more dangerous?
Well, it could make him more dangerous because Xi Jinping could see the window of opportunity with an invasion of Taiwan closing. And many of our intelligence officials say that 2027 is the window of danger. And when we see weakness from the Biden administration play out on the world stage like we did with this San Francisco summit, I think that invites the aggression that we all want to avoid. And there is a reason why Taiwan is in jeopardy right now, because we don't see any deterrence from the Biden administration on the world stage. At those meetings with Xi Jinping, there was no response whatsoever to the provocations in the South China Sea or incursions in the Taiwan airspace or the human rights violations in Hong Kong or Xinjiang or Tibet or the spy balloon. No repercussions whatsoever. And that's why we call it zombie diplomacy, weakness, and that invites aggression.
Congressman, thank you very much for coming day after Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful weekend. Appreciate you being here.